life with Cleopatra, awaken the best version of you. Oh, 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 oh. Your journey starts today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you awaken the best version of you. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh. Empower life with Cleopatra. Oh, 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 oh.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Month, everybody. Hello, welcome to the show. Dr. Sunny, wow, Happy New Month. And thank you so much for joining. How are you tonight? I can see quite a few people already, so thank you very much. It's going to be, yes, Dr. Sunny, I hope you've got your judge and jury hat on tonight because seriously, there's going to be, an opportunity for you to decide whether this person is being, ridiculous or not. Hi, Robin. How you doing? Hi, everybody. Honestly, there's Nolly Cafe. There's the advocates. There's so many people joining. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, Robin. Like I said to Dr. Sunny, I hope, and everybody else on the show right now, I hope you guys have got your judge and jury hats on because this is your show tonight. All right, this is your show. You are going to be the ones to decide whether this person is just being petty, ridiculous, or unbelievable. Right. So, welcome to Empower Life with Cleopatra. This is the show where we grow, we heal, we reflect, and sometimes we mind our business, but not tonight, because tonight is a different game altogether. Okay, but before we begin, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much to everyone because you guys, you won an award. You won an award, guys, right? This show yesterday, we were honored with the Hearts Without Borders Award. It was presented by the leaders of All Nations International, where I was voted one of the best influencers, and the show won an award. So this award belongs to God, but also to you, my royals, because you guys actually are the brains behind this show because of your support. So thank you very much, and we thank God for giving us the grace to still stand despite all the challenges, and we will continue to do good things because this award tells me one thing. It tells me that we are not here for shallow conversations. We're here for impact, and we're giving positive impact. We're creating positive impact, and that was the whole point of the show. So thank you so much. So if you value real, honest discussions about family, boundaries, emotional growth, go ahead tonight, right? If you haven't liked the show already, like it right now. Like the show. Just click on the thumbs up button, right? Because this message we're going to talk about tonight, this show is going to bless somebody, including me, because I can actually relate to this person to an extent. Okay. So if you're coming back to watch this show, or if you're watching this show for the first time, please always watch the show to the end. And then if you have any topics that you feel that you want us to talk about, or you have any confessions, because I've been receiving quite a lot of confessions, and we're going to have a confession series. I keep saying it, but it's true. We will have a confession series. But I need you to send me an email to empowerlifewithcleopatra@gmail.com. Empowerlifewithcleopatra@gmail.com. All right. So that's a hi, Maureen, big sis. Thank you for joining. Happy New Month. Happy New Month, everybody, everyone here. Honestly, I appreciate you and I love you real good. Okay. So, like I said, Maureen, get your judge and jury hats on because tonight you guys are going to decide whether this person is just being ridiculous or not. All right. Like I said, please don't forget to click on the like button as well and also comment. Today, we are minding family business, all right? Because I received a letter that made me really pause and I thought maybe I should read this. I know we're going to have a confession series, but I thought we should discuss this. All right. And I don't want to be the one to give the answers. I want you involved. And I'm going to read this letter. And as I read it, I want you to think, is she wrong? Is she justified? Or is she just being messy? Is this just a ridiculous family thing that we shouldn't really worry about? Let's just find out. All right. So I'm going to read the letter. All right. It says, Dear Cleopatra, I don't even know where to begin. I've been watching your show for months. You always talk about protecting your peace. I used to think that sounded empowering. Now I'm not sure if it applies to me or if I'm just being selfish. I come from a close, and you put this, inverted quotes. I come from a close family. At least that's what we tell people. Growing up, my parents always said, in this family, we stick together no matter what. And I believed that. I worked hard in school. I went to university. I built a stable career. I sacrificed. I delayed gratification. I did the work. My older brother didn't. He dropped out of college. He bounced between jobs. He never committed to anything long term. My parents always said, he'll figure this out. Now he's 36 years old. I'm 32. And somehow I feel like I'm his safety net. First, it was small. He would say, can you lend me 200 pounds? I'll pay you back. He didn't. And then it became rent money, then car repairs, then just help me until next month. And then next month never comes. If I hesitate, he says, so that's how it is now. You think you're better than me? You've changed since you started earning money. You don't even check on me anymore. But Cleopatra, I do check on him. I just don't send him money every time he calls anymore. And here's what hurts the most. When I helped consistently, even without him asking, I was the best sister. The moment I set limits, I became cold. He's been telling relatives I'm stingy, I'm arrogant, and that money got to my head. That broke something in me because I never once made him feel small for struggling. I helped him update his CV. He never applied for the jobs. He said the pay was beneath him. Meanwhile, I'm working overtime. I'm doing two jobs. When I say yes to him, I feel resentful because I feel I'm enabling him. When I say no, I feel guilty. Family gatherings are awkward now. My mom says, he's your brother. If you don't help him, who will? Feel trapped. Am I selfish for wanting peace? Am I wrong for feeling used? Or is this just what family is supposed to be? He stopped talking to me. And strangely, I don't feel bad. I know I've been a good sister. My conscience is clear. I refuse to be coerced. I refuse to be manipulated. I refuse to lose myself trying to please him. Am I doing the right thing? And that was a question. Am I doing the right thing? Sincerely. Obviously, I know it's a girl, but she didn't put her name. She just said tired and conflicted. That was the name she put. So this was the letter. So, all right, my royals, you've heard the letter. Deep breath. The first question for you is this. Is she being selfish like she asked? Is she being selfish or is she setting boundaries? I want you to type in the comments. If she's selfish, just type selfish. If she's setting boundaries, type boundaries. Please, let me see in the comments. Share your thoughts. Because as I said, I'm not going to be the one to, say everything. Thank you so much, Maureen, for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ine. Thank you so much, my beautiful sis. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. In fact, let me be putting all your comments one by one. Dr. Sonny, start with Dr. Sonny. He was wondering when this show is going to start. Started early, Dr. Sonny. We started early. We started just in time. Robin says, hola, hola. Maureen, congratulations on your latest award. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks to you and everyone for your support. And Ina says, you look beautiful, my darling. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. All the other people in the chat, there's quite a few of you. Where are your comments? Where are your comments? Let's see the comments. Ina, thank you. Ina says, setting boundaries. Okay, she's setting boundaries. She's not being selfish. She's setting boundaries. Okay, okay. Okay. What do you think? What do you think, Maureen? What do you think, Robin? What do you think, Hilarious Pets? What do you think, Advocates? What do you think, Dr. Sunny? What do you think, everybody in the chat? What do you think? What do you think? Robin says she's setting boundaries. Okay. Okay. So Ina thinks she's setting boundaries. And Robin says she's setting boundaries. Okay. So everybody thinks she's not being selfish. Maureen says, no, she's not being selfish. Okay. I mean, I agree. I don't think she's being selfish, because at the beginning, she helped, didn't she? She helped because she cared. She gave him £200, and then she was giving him rent money, and then she would give him money to repair cars, and then she even helped him with updating his CV. And if you ask me, that's support. But then something got shifted, right? Something shifted. The tone changed from, can you help me, to, why aren't you helping me? So help became expected. And once help becomes expected, what happens? Appreciation disappears. So let me ask you something. Have you ever helped someone so much that they forgot it was help? Started acting like it was your responsibility? Please answer, because I can relate to this lady. I can relate to her. Have you ever helped someone, because you cared? You loved it, whether it's your family, whether it's your friend, anybody. And then all of a sudden, they just thought it was an entitlement for them. So it became their responsibility. Have you? If you have, just say yes or no. But I know I can relate. And that's why when this letter came in, I thought because I could really appreciate, and I hear them. Hey, Mr. Solomon, thank you for joining. Hello. Mr. Solomon, I'm sure you have an opinion on this. Have you ever helped someone and then after a while, it wasn't help anymore? It was expected. It now turned from help to expectations. They expect you to, and it's more like an entitlement. Have you? If you have, please put it. Let's see, because I can relate to this person. I can relate to her. All right. Because look at this. This is why I said it's entitlement, right? You guys lived in the same house. You had the same upbringing, same opportunities. All right. Some siblings decided, okay, they are going to work hard. They're going to try their best. They did the best that they could. They put in the work. They did all they could. And then another one says, no, I'm not, they avoid the responsibility because they wanted to just live their best lives, I guess. And then years later, the ones who built, all right, is called arrogance, because because the person who did not build, who avoided putting in the hard work, now the fact that these other people who grew, who built, their growth is making this person feel uncomfortable. Growth can make stagnation uncomfortable. Growth can make laziness uncomfortable. And instead of saying, okay, maybe I need to take responsibility for my actions, it becomes, you've changed. You've changed. You're not like you used to be before. Now, tell me honestly, if you were her, would you keep sending money? Would you keep sending money? I certainly know I would not. I know I would not. Solomon says, yes, of course. Yes, of course, that they're being selfish, or yes, of course, that they are setting boundaries. Yeah, are they being selfish for saying, look, listen, I'm not gonna have any of this. I think I've done my best by you as a sibling, and if you don't want to, you cannot blame me for your shortcomings and everything. You have to take responsibility. All right. Ini says they feel entitled because they think because it's family, so one party must bear the brunt. Hmm. Interesting. This is true. This is true because remember what her mother said to her. Her mother said to her, if you don't help him, who else would? So that's why she carried on helping and doing everything that she could for him. Imagine her trying to help him with CVs and stuff like that, and he still will not even apply for the jobs because, in his words, it was beneath him. It was beneath him applying for jobs. Meanwhile, this person that's helping you applied for jobs themselves and got a job. All right. And they're working, like she said she's working two jobs. For you, no, getting a job is beneath you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Honestly, you know. So by the way, if you're coming back to watch this show again, please don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, all right? Because these discussions, they're very important. I think we talk about everything, but sometimes we need to come back home and talk about family sometimes. And I know a lot of us are going through this because I know I can empathize with this person. To be honest with you, I can. All right. Now, did you notice the pattern, my royals? When she was given, she was celebrated. When she was given, she was appreciated. She was told she was the best sister in the world. But when she slowed down, she was criticized. So let me say this thing gently, right? If someone only values you when you are useful, they don't value you. If someone only values you when you are useful to them, they do not value you. What do they value instead? They value access. They value access. And when you change the access, you expose the truth of the relationship. Because, it tells you exactly what they think about you. All right. This is just it. It tells you what they think about you. And let's like I said earlier, let's examine what the mother said. The mother said, if you don't help him, who will? What's that? That's emotional guilt, isn't it? That's emotional blackmail. That's the guilt trap. And that's why she kept doing it. You know? Because let me ask you this question then. Why is it that, that sort of pressure is placed on the sibling who decided to be responsible, to work hard? Why was that pressure placed on that person? All right. Not on the adult. So this is the adult that was supposed to even know better, and they refuse to take responsibility and ownership for what they have done. They refuse to take responsibility. Yet the responsibility is now placed on the one who has been working hard and who is still working hard. Sometimes in families, yeah, the reliable one becomes the default solution, like Ines said. But being reliable does not mean being responsible for everyone's life. Seriously, it doesn't mean that you're responsible for their lives. Everybody, we all come into this world and we all came, for a purpose. I cannot be responsible for the decisions that you take as a sibling. You cannot be responsible for mine. If a sibling is helping their other sibling, it's because they care, not because they are entitled to it. It's love. All right. And she said something very important. What did she say her name was? She said confused and let me see, let me go back again. Says what's her name? Confused and and tired and conflicted. Yes, that's what you said her name was. She said something very important as well. You know, she said, when I say yes, I feel resentful. When I say no, I feel guilty. If you ask me what that is, I would say that's emotional burnout. She's exhausted emotionally. That's what happens when you're stuck between love and self preservation. All right. So let me ask you, was she helping because she really loved this sibling, or was she helping because she was afraid of being judged by this sibling and the family? Because there are two different motivations for her helping. Do you think she was helping because she loved the sibling, or you think she was helping because she felt, she doesn't want the family to judge her for being, for not helping? What do you think her motivation was? Mr. Solomon says, sorry, I had to call that cut. I had a call that cut off your question. Okay, sorry, it's correct. That's fine. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining. Mr. Solomon says, you are right. In fact, let me just put the comments. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining. Mr. Solomon says, you're right. Everyone has to take responsibility and not have entitlement mentality. Yeah, everyone has to take responsibility. It's not your fault that one sibling, but there's always you always have those sort of things in families, don't you? You always have those sort of situations in families, right? You always have that sort of there's always that problem in family where one sibling feels entitled to everything, you know. Even when you send them money, they don't even say thank you. Even if they say thank you, it's like, as if like yes, of course you're supposed to do it. You're my sister, you're my brother. So that's your job. That's your job, you know. So I think, you guys haven't told me, do you think she was helping because she loved him? Or you think she was helping him because she didn't want the family to judge her and she was afraid of being, stigmatized? Or you think it's a combination of both? That maybe, okay, she loved her brother, but at the same time, she just did not want any wahala. She didn't want any stress. So she thought, look, I love you, but I'm going to help you. But, after a while, she just felt, look, I've had enough of this, especially because you're not trying to help yourself. I've tried so many times to help you, but you're not trying to help yourself. So I'm done with trying to help you. All right. So in this situation, then, what should she do? Maureen says initially she could have been helping out of love. Okay. Okay, Solomon actually says he was helping because she did not want to be judged. Okay, so you don't think she loved him? You don't think she loved him? You think she didn't want the stress of the family? That's why she was helping. Okay, fair enough. Mommy says initially she could have she could have been helping out of love. Okay, so Solomon says she did not want to be judged, and Maureen says initially she could have been helping out of love. Okay, okay. And then Robin says, try to get him to value her by asking for a quid pro quo, i.e., what favor is she getting from him for each thing, I guess, she does for him. Hmm. Well, from the look of things, it doesn't look like he did anything for her, because if he did anything, she would have said, okay, maybe he used to do this, or he did that, or he did that, or for her. She didn't say anything about him doing anything for her. And from what I can see, it looks like he was the selfish kind of brother. He was very self-centered. Amaka, thank you so much for joining. It's okay. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. Happy New Month, my love. Yeah, you know, um, it looks like she did the best she could for him, and maybe she did not even expect anything back in return. All she wanted back in return was for him to actually make the effort to do something for himself for a change and not have to depend on her all the time. I mean, that's what she's saying. Ine says, Ine says, I think, I think it's love, though he is her brother. Okay, it's love. Okay, you think it's love. Okay, okay, you think it's love. So it wasn't just because she feared that she would be judged by her family. Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so in this case, I think, being the judge and the jury, you both have, the jury is split because some of you say, okay, she did it because she did not want to be judged. But most of you are saying she did it out of love. Initially, she did it out of love. So in this case, then, please, my royals and my jury, what should she do? And I'm going to give you options. I'm going to give you options, right? And then you can decide from those, just to make things easier for everybody. Option one, continue helping financially, but set strict limits and timelines. So say things like, all right, I'm going to help you, but there's only so much. After so and so time, I'm not going to help you anymore because you're supposed to by now, be able to stand on your feet and do things for yourself. So continue to help financially, but set strict limits and timelines. So that's option A, right? Option B, stop giving money completely. Offer non-financial support. All right. Only job leads, encouragement, and accountability. All right. And I probably add prayers, you know. So stop giving money completely because you are enabling them when you keep giving them money. All right. Only offer non-financial support. So non-financial support, like helping them with jobs. All right. If there are any jobs that you think they are qualified for, you help them with it. Encouragement and accountability in terms of how far have you applied for the jobs? Have you got any interviews coming up? What's happening with that, and so on and so forth. So that's what you would do for option B. So remember, option A, continue helping him financially, but set strict limits and timelines. Option B, stop giving money completely, offer non-financial support, only job leads, encouragement and accountability, and pray for them. Option C, take a full step back and reset the relationship completely. Take a full step back and say, that's it, I'm done. And this is boundaries now. I'm going to reset the relationship, and this is the boundaries I'm going to draw in this relationship. What would you choose? Option A, B, or C? Option A, B, or C? Okay, okay. Robin says that just points out he's using and exploiting her. Love has been replaced by exploitation. I agree, Robin. I agree. Totally. Ine says, stop giving and care less. Here, Ine. Here. Anybody else? Judge, jury. Judge and jury. Option A, option B, or option C? Option A, B, or C? Remember, option A was continue to help financially, but set strict limits and timelines. Option B was stop giving money completely, offer non-financial support like job leads and encouragement and accountability. And option C was take a full step back and reset the relationship. All right, let's advise her because I'm sure she's going to be watching. She's going to be watching. Maureen, thank you. Maureen says, stop giving and only assist with non-financial support. Okay. If you agree with Maureen, please say here. If you don't agree, put what you agree. All right. So Maureen, you agree with option B. Option B, that's stop giving and only assist with non-financial support. Option B. Okay, okay. Ines says they will even misjudge her encouragement. Oh man, to your tent. I hear you, Ines. To your tent, oh Israel. To your tent, everybody for themselves, God for us all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So no matter what she does, apparently, from what you're saying, no matter what she does, they will still misjudge her. If she's helping, they will say, you're helping because you think you're better than him. If she's not helping, they'll say you're being selfish, you're being stingy, you don't care for your brother. So it's like between the devil and the deep blue sea, right? There's nothing she would do that will please anybody, really. Okay, okay. That's interesting. Robin says, if it's below him to get a job, it's below her to give him money. Two can play that game. Robin, thumbs up. Honestly, two can play that game. If it's below him to get a job, then it's below her to give him money. Seriously. Because this girl says she does two jobs. All right. So when her mates are sleeping, she's busy working, probably even answering yes, sir, yes, ma'am, to one small child as a boss because she's trying to make ends meet. All right. I don't know where she's actually sending this message from, whether she's here in London or anywhere else. I don't know where she's sending it from, you know, because but cost of living is high anywhere. Cost of living is high anywhere anyway. So if things were okay for her, she will not be doing two jobs. She will not be working two jobs. So yeah, I agree with you, Robin. If it's below him to get a job, then it's below her to give him money. Absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, my jury, you guys are bringing it, right? But here's my perspective, all right? Helping is beautiful, but enabling is very dangerous. You cannot rescue someone from consequences they refuse to face. I think my jury, my royals, you agree with that anyway. You cannot rescue someone from consequences that they refuse to face. They refuse to face it, they refuse to take accountability and responsibility for their mistakes. You cannot fund someone's comfort while sacrificing your own peace. It does not make sense. All right? If I were advising her privately, and this is to me tired and conflicted. I think that was what you said your name was. Tired and conflicted. If I was to advise you privately, I would suggest, you know, just clearly, yeah, have one direct conversation with him and clearly say, look, I will no longer provide financial support. All right? No financial support at all. But if she wants to, she can, decide to still help him with job leads if he wants it as well. Because he might not even want you to help her to get a job or to apply for jobs or whatever. He might not want that. He might not want that. So, but want no finance any more financial support. All right. And any support you're going to offer him has to come with boundaries because he's having these expectations of her. And just because she has said, look, I can't afford to feed your lifestyle anymore. I can't afford it anymore. Now she's become a bad person. All right. And I don't think I'm tired or conflicted, right? I don't think you need to defend yourself to your family. I know you said he went and he told your family all kinds of things about you and this, that, and the other. Silence is powerful. You don't have to defend yourself to your family or anybody else for that matter that he has spoken to. You don't have to defend yourself. He knows the truth in his heart, and you know the truth. You both know what the truth is. And if he's honest with himself, except he's just, except he's just an evil person. If he's honest with himself deep down in his heart, he will know that you have tried your best. He will know. All right. Accept that boundaries may cost temporary closeness. The boundaries you are going to set would obviously cost your relationship, or at least cost the closeness you guys had before. All right? But here's the truth. If someone withdraws affection when money stops, their attachment was never emotional. It was never emotional. What do you think it was? It was transactional. The affection that they had for you was transactional. It was never an emotional, I love you, my sister kind of relationship, because you know, when you could not help anymore, it now became that you're a bad person. So what did he think about you from the very beginning then? He never really thought much about you, sis, right? And yeah, Solomon, Ine says, well said, Robin. Absolutely. And Mr. Solomon says, he who does not work should not eat. Well, the good book said so, right? Our Bible says so. Let him who does not work, let him not eat. All right. Ine says, tell her to go on holiday and enjoy enough cocktails. Can she even afford to go on holiday now? Honestly, can she afford to go on holidays? Seriously. Yeah. I guess she's taking so much responsibility now that she probably even can't afford to go on holidays. Yeah. And Robin thanks you, Ine. Robin thanks you. And Ine says, he is he not an adult who supports her? Giving should be beneficial to all parties, not parasitic. Ah, Ine, honestly, I could not agree with you more. Giving should be it should be a symbiotic relationship. It should be a symbiote. Even if he cannot give you financially, he should give you emotionally. He should give you, you know, psychologically, spiritually, and in a brotherly love way, kind of thing. At least you know that, okay, fine, I know my brother is there for me. But this guy never calls you. The only time he will call you is when you need something. What kind of a brother is that? What kind of a brother is that? Honestly, I don't know about that kind of brother. Seriously, I don't know about that kind of a brother. Only when he needs something, that's when he calls you, right? And let's be honest, right? Some people don't miss you. They don't really miss you. They miss what you provided. Seriously. They only miss what you provided. What you gave them is what they missed. All right, which is a shame. Because here she is, you know, giving, loving, caring, doing the most because she felt her brother, loves her. But she has seen now that no, he don't love you at all. He don't love you. He only loved you because you were there as well, I say as a cash cow, all right, as a vending machine, as a cash cow. Now that you said no, all of a sudden, no, he doesn't love you anymore. That's really a shame, to be honest, though. That's a shame. I feel bad. I feel bad for her, you know. But I like the fact, I like the decisions, you guys are the advice you guys are giving her. I like it. I mean, family is important. I agree. But so is self-respect. So is peace. So is emotional safety. All right? Obviously, blood creates connection. I agree with that. You cannot choose your family. You can only choose your friends, right? You can only choose your friends. You cannot choose your family. So blood creates connection. But character can either make or break that connection. Character can sustain a connection or break it. Because, I've heard a mother actually say to their child, I love you as a son, or I love you as a daughter, but I don't like you. I don't like you at all. I don't like your behavior. I don't like your character. I don't like your attitude. I do not like you. But I'm compelled to love you because I am your mother, but I don't like you as a person. That's deep. When somebody just likes you out of obligation, all right? Or just love you out of obligation, but they don't like you at all. That's deep. Maureen says, some only remember you when they need your support or help. Yeah, yeah. It's just a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame that that's the case. You know, nobody will call her to say, how are you doing? Are you okay? Or what's happening with you or whatever. He has never done that. Because if she did, or if he did, she would have said so. That at least he calls me, he prays for me, he cares for me or whatever, and all that. She didn't say anything like that. So in other words, he doesn't do that. Only when he needs money, and that's what she said. That's when he will reach out to her. So when she says, no, I'm not giving you anymore, all of a sudden she's now a bad person. She's not a bad person. Honestly, sometimes, yeah, the most loving thing you can do for somebody like that is to step back and allow someone to grow up. All right? That's the most loving thing you can do for a person like that, is to just step back, allow them to grow up, allow them to sit down and really have a conversation with themselves. Let them have a conversation with themselves and say to themselves, actually, though, am I out of order by expecting this woman or this girl to be my vending machine? Am I out of order by slagging her off just because she has refused to now give me money now? All right. Step back, not out of anger. You're not angry, not out of revenge. What's there to revenge for? But out of maturity. All right. Because you now have set your boundaries and you have grown up. Because you're not gonna continue to tolerate their excesses. All right. Lumi, thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Amaka says the guy had an agenda. It was all about what's in it for me. Let me go and grab. But this is your own sister. This is your sibling. Why would you think like that towards your own sibling? Amaka, I hear you. But why would they even think like that? Why would they be so selfish? Let me go and grab. Wherever she is, I'm sure there's no streets that are paved with, naira and dollars and pounds and rupees and stuff. You know, so why would he think he would just continue to use her like that? Right? Does he even know if she even has the money anymore? Does he even know that? He doesn't even know whether she can afford it now or not. If she was doing two jobs before, obviously it's because she cannot afford the salary she was on the first one. That's why she's going through the stress of doing another job. So, I mean, common sense should tell her or tell him that, look, this girl is also struggling. Yeah. And Solomon says, sorry, Amaka, did I display your, yeah, let me display it a little bit before I read Mr. Solomon's son, because Mr. Solomon says, yes, character can break a connection or maintain it. Character can also create a connection. All right. Because I have one or two friends who are far closer than a family member. Here, Mr. Solomon. Here. I agree with you. Because there are some friends that you have, honestly. You can tell them anything. They are the ones that will call you. I haven't heard from you in a while. How are you? I know I have friends like that. All right. I have girlfriends and I have men friends like that. They will call me, oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. How are you doing? Are you okay? How is your health? How are your knees? How is this? How is that? They will actually take the time to call you to ask how are you doing. Meanwhile, your own blood doesn't care about that. They don't call you. So yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Solomon. You're right. You're very correct. Robin says better to have someone like that that thinks you are bad when he is a feckless parasite. Also, love and support you don't get from him from at the moment. Also, love and support you don't get from him at the moment. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, yes, it's coming across like a parasite. So let him think you're bad. A clear conscience fears no accusations. I always say that. I always say that. Your conscience, if you know you've done your best by someone, you've done the best that you possibly can, and all you get in return is somebody slagging you off and telling everyone that cares to know that you're bad. You know the funny thing? If they tell you you are bad and you've done this and you've done that, right? And those people that they're talking about, that they're talking to about you, do not call you to tell you this is what this person said and everything, then those people also, they are just as bad as they are. Because if somebody, that's why I don't get a lot of phone calls from people like that. All right. Because nobody will call me and tell me this person said this, because they know me, I don't have time. Before you even finish talking, either I will hang up on you and I'll tell you, or I'll tell you, hold on, and I'll pick up the phone and I'll call the other person. I say, this is what this person said about you. Yeah, answer them. Because you're not gonna call my phone and be gossiping about somebody behind my back. So I don't know whether you're correct or not. And you probably turn around tomorrow and gossip about me anyway. So yeah, Robin, you're totally correct. You're totally, absolutely correct. All right. Oh, you said ATM cash machine. Okay, 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 okay. I thought, ATM also means at the moment. We that like to do shortcuts when we're sending text messages. Okay, so it's better to have someone like that think you are bad when he is a feckless parasite. Also love and support you don't get from an ATM or a cash machine. Yeah, 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 because he's turned you into a cash machine. That's what he's done. What kind of a brother is that? So, tired and conflicted, right? You've heard everything my royals have said. They have judged the case and they find you not guilty. They don't think you're selfish. They don't think, you're being self centered. They actually think you should set boundaries. They think, and my royals, please, if you agree, say yes to it as well. Because I'm just summarizing what you have said now. Tired and conflicted. They think, my royals think, you're not being selfish. You should set boundaries. You should stop giving financial help completely. Only offer emotional help. Say, if they want if they approach you, that is, if they want you to help them with maybe job leads or whatever, you can help them with that. Actually, some even say you shouldn't not even bother at all, even bother helping them, just forget about them completely. All right. But none of my juries is saying to you that you should continue to finance him. They're saying no, don't do it. Okay. So at least you know that you're not a bad person. All right. You're not a bad person at all for doing what you're doing. Okay. Thank you, Ine. Edith, hi. Thank you for joining. We're about to round up, Edith. We're about to round up, but you can always watch the show again. You can always come back and watch it because we're about to round up. It was going to be a short and sweet show tonight. And next week as well, it's going to be a short and sweet one. As a matter of fact, next week I am going to be rerunning the show on fibroids. Remember, we had some technical issues on that show. So next week, I've had to re-record. I've re-recorded the show, and I'm going to be running that show because I know a lot of people were wondering why I took the show off from YouTube. You know me, I'm a bit of I know people should not. People always say to me, "You're being too much of a perfectionist." I know I need to work on that. but I just did not feel like I was going to put it when some part of the video now had some technical issues. I thought I'd just remove it and just re-record it again and then drop it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be playing next Sunday. Okay. So for those who have been asking me about, oh, what happened to that show? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen next week. Um, Ines says, please, the lady should go on holiday and invest her money. Let her chop her money. Totally, totally. Tired and conflicted. Did you hear what my royal said? My royal says, go and enjoy yourself. Go to the beach, go on holiday and enter, just do you. All right. Go somewhere, enjoy your money, eat all the food you can eat, and just enjoy yourself. Okay. Forget about him. Okay. Because God forbid anything happens to you tomorrow, they're still going to be living, right? They're not going to jump over the bridge because God forbid anything happens to you. All right. So go and enjoy yourself. Your two jobs that you're working, two jobs. Really? Why? Go and enjoy yourself. Okay. At least you deserve it. You've earned it. You've earned it. All right. And Robin says, or charge him worse rates than credit cards after getting yourself some big burly friends like who like baseball. Seriously, some, I actually, to be honest with you, right? Some family members, right? Some siblings, you just love them. That's all you do. You just love them. You just love them because God commands you to love them. But if you were going to deal with them based on the way they behave, you will not even want to talk to them again ever, because they go out of their way to hurt you. They go out of their way to really to make you feel, like you're a bad person, especially when they know, if they're honest with themselves, they know that you are not a bad person. All because you've tried to set boundaries, you're now a bad person. It's sad. It's really sad. But my royals, this is where we are going to, leave it. Uh Mr. Solomon says, exactly. Someone should not make themselves the salvation of anybody. I agree. I agree. Now, listen, if you as a sibling, you know, you help your other sibling, there's nothing wrong with it. Especially when you see that your other sibling actually is working hard, is making the effort, and is doing the best that they can. As a brother, as a sister, if they need help them. Because they're not just sitting down doing nothing, they're doing the best that they possibly can. As a brother or as a sister, them. Because, like I said, they're doing the best that they can. Well, where you know that your sibling has refused, and everybody has tried to help this sibling at some point or the other before, and they just decided that they don't want any help because they feel like everybody owes them. All right. They don't owe anybody anything. Everybody owes them instead. All right. Then you are not wrong for saying, I've had enough. I'm not having that anymore. I've had enough. All right. Bumi says, take care of yourself and remember your family. I agree. Remember your family. Take care of yourself and remember your family. Remember your family, especially when they care about you too. Especially when they love you, they care for you, they care about your well-being. They are there for you when you need them. They call you to say, how are you doing? When you need them, they are there for you. All right? Care about those family members. But the family member that would never call you, they will never ever call you to say how are you doing? Are you okay? How is your health? Are you this? Are you that? How are you? They would never do that. The only time they will call you is when they need money. And when you don't give them that money, then you are a bad person. My dear, I will pray for you from afar. Mm-hmm. Ine, Ine is laughing at Robin, at Robin's comments. And Robin says, and get him to sign written contracts with that interest rate for any loan. Then they know you can legally claim it back. Robin, you're talking to somebody who you think is sensible now. If that sibling of yours is not sensible, what contract? And it depends on where in the world that they live, what part of the world that they live, though. Because if they live in the UK, even if they live in the UK, the government will say this is a civil matter. It's not our business. That's what the police will do. That's what the judge will say. It's a civil, so it's not our business. So you go do you. So what are you gonna do? If it's in Nigeria, you are already fighting a lost case. It's in Africa. Who cares? Who cares? So no matter all the contracts that they sign, nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't care about that because they know that it's not binding, even though it's supposed to be binding. It ain't binding nothing, right? Mr. Solomon says occasional help is welcome, but don't let them turn you into their ATM. Yes, Mr. Solomon, totally, I agree. Occasionally help is okay. If you help them occasionally, it's okay. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have no issues with that at all. And when you're helping, don't even help because you want anything back in return. Help because you love because you love them. Don't you're not helping because you want to remind them, oh, I did this for you 10 years ago, I did this for you last week. No, 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 no. Help them out of love. But where they now want to turn that into an expectation or like their entitlement, then that's where we have a problem. My royals, thank you for being good judge and jury tonight. You have judged the case, you have found out not wanting. And I think for the next shows, our confessions, we're gonna have a confession series. Actually, in March is gonna be a little bit tight. Maybe in April, or I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But for the confession series, you guys, this is just a taster. You guys are going to be the judge and jury. I will be coming with my full regalia of a judge's outfit with my judge wig. All right. And we will judge cases. This time before we will say, no, we're not judging. We don't judge. We will just advise you and go. But this time, child, we will judge you. All right, we will judge you. So please, if you have any confessions, keep sending them in, okay? We're going to judge what you've done, but we'll advise you too, though. We're not going to judge you and say, go, 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 go. We don't want to know. No, 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 no. We will advise you too. So please don't feel bad, if we're judging because, sometimes, we have to be hard to be kind because it's called tough love. All right, we love you and we will advise you, but we'll also judge and say you did bad. Okay, so yes, Robin says in the UK, you take them to court. A signed contract is legally binding. Do you? And the court would actually have time for that. They would have time to go. Oh, really? Okay, I stand corrected. I mean, I've not had that situation before, so I don't know. Okay, if the UK court actually, if they have time to do cases like this, they'll take them to court. Take them to court. Yeah, maybe in the UK, but I don't know in Africa though. I don't know if anybody from Africa is watching here. Bumi, what do you think? Can they take them to court? Bumi, what do you think? Can they take them to court in Nigeria, for instance, and then they actually would tell them to pay, and the contract is legally binding? Is it in Nigeria? Please let us know because I have no idea. I have no idea if you take them to courts. By the time you finish paying the police bribe and everything, you probably won't even have anything to even pay your sibling again after that. But yeah, my royals, thank you so much. We are going to keep to the hour timeline and not try not to exceed it. Yeah. So if this conversation has resonated with you, if you're watching this show again and if you're watching now, please don't forget to like this video so that somebody else can watch it, all right? Because the more you like it, the more TikTok and YouTube and all the other social media platforms and Facebook will push it to other people, okay? And don't forget, if you haven't subscribe to Empower Life with Cleopatra. Remember, we are an award-winning show now, okay? Don't play, don't play, don't play. Clock it, clock it, clock it, okay? We are an award-winning show now, okay? We are impact driven, all right? And we actually really try to give you great content in this show, all right? So share this episode, okay? We're not trying to shame anybody by doing this. We're just, we're just being honest, all right? And we are trying to make sure that we live our best lives. So we don't attack. We're not trying to attack. We're not trying to gossip. We don't gossip unnecessarily. Yes, sometimes we do, but they're good kind of gossip, all right? We reflect, we grow, you know, and we also protect our peace. And we are award winning, and we do it with excellence. Okay, so congratulate yourselves once again, my royals, for the awards that this show has won. It was because of you all, and we give all the thanks and praises to God for enabling us to win an award. All right. So we pray that more awards will come in Jesus' name. Amen. Robin says, otherwise, there'll be no business, no businesses, and no contracts, and no one would get paid. Maybe for businesses, yes, but when I thought like for civil, like for domestic issues, I didn't think the UK court would have time for that, but yeah, you're right. If the UK court has time for it, yeah, why not? Hopefully we will not have to get that far with any of our siblings. By the grace of God, that will not happen. But thank you so much once again, my royals. Thank you so much for joining. I love you so much and I appreciate you. I cannot thank you guys enough. You know that, right? I love you and I appreciate all your support, right? Please don't always forget to comment, right? After the show has ended. Wait till the show ends completely, right? Come back and comment. Come back and like and share and say something so that this show will continue to be pushed out to other people, okay? I love you so much. Thank you once again. Until next time, be bold, be kind, be empowered. Have a lovely week. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye for now, guys. I love you. Bye.
Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Unlock your true potential. Empower your mind, body, and soul. Live with intentions, live with a purpose. Empower your dreams, make it happen today. No matter your age, rise and shine. Live boldly, live authentically. It's your time to rise and shine. Empower life with Cleopatra. Awaken the best version of you. Your journey starts today. You've got one life to live. Love yourself, be kind to others, break free and let your spirit soar. Empower life with Cleopatra will help you awaken the best version